Hello folks, welcome back to AirJobBoss TV. I am the AirJobBoss and you need to subscribe to this channel if you are soon to be looking for a major airline interview or even a regional airline interview. As I move forward in the evolution of this channel, I will start addressing the hiring process of regional U.S. airlines, but I'm focused on U.S. major airlines at this point because regional airlines are taking most applicants. They're literally paying applicants to come to work for them. Major airlines are also taking most applicants. About 80% of people that are called into an interview actually get the job. But this will change dramatically in the future. In the future, it'll be very competitive to get these jobs. The airlines are hiring, I think in 2022, there'll be probably between 11 and 12,000 pilots hired by major airlines. 23, it may get to that. 24, you're going to find it very challenging to get jobs because they will probably slow down the hiring and maybe more dramatically than you think. Anyway, today is a continuation of our interview question and answer series, and this is an age-old interview question that has been asked by every industry from the dawn of time, and that is, what are your weaknesses? What is your greatest weakness? And your greatest weakness cannot be, well, I drink too much and I have a splitting headache every time I go to work. That's not where we want to go with this. And it's best to focus on, you know that the airlines have core competencies, yes, because you watched my video on core competencies for pilots. You don't necessarily want to choose a weakness that undermines one of the core competencies. For instance, leadership. Well, I don't like to lead people. Analytical thinking. I can't organize my thoughts very well. Or communication skills. I don't really like other people. I don't like talking to them, right? These are some of the ones you kind of want to avoid. Now, you don't want to get too overly dramatic about all the weaknesses you have. Believe me, we all have weaknesses. The interviewers understand that we all have weaknesses. Now, so we want to pick a weakness. And don't do this. Don't pick a weakness that is really a strength. Well, I really care too much about other people, or I just can't help but work so hard all the time, right? No, that is way too obvious. You probably get away with it if all your other answers were great and they really needed pilots. But you start doing that stuff when it's competitive and all your other answers are pretty weak. That's not going to happen. You need to pick a real weakness. Now, here is a weakness that everybody has except yours truly, and that is, I have a fear of public speaking. And I find this to be my greatest weakness. The reason why it's a weakness in communication, in being a pilot, is because sometimes I'm a little shy and my communication skills suffer from it. I have to, as a mitigating factor, I have to realize the seriousness of the process of communication and good CRM skills, and I have to be more forthcoming with my opinions and making what I would call an argument or a discussion about my way of thinking and the decisions that I'm making. So it's a form of public speaking that have not been always really comfortable with, and I'm having to develop it as I get older. And when I have as I gain more experience, gain more skills, and gain more talent at this, I find it easier to do. But I would say that even now, answering these questions in an interview, I can feel that my fear of public speaking is getting in the way of you maybe knowing me as a professional airline pilot that I am, right? Because everyone has a fear of public speaking. Okay, let's go into some of the other ones. Personal physical care. Everyone thinks that they should be in better shape, eat better, get better rest, and exercise more, yeah? So you can use this one. One of my biggest weaknesses is probably my personal physical care. I don't eat as well as I should have. This job makes it very difficult. I don't exercise as much as I should because I'm always traveling. I don't get as good sleep as I probably would if I was on a regular 9-to-5 job. So one of my goals is to better watch my diet, prepare my food at home very well, try to get as much sleep as I can, and I'm beginning an exercise program. It's still very difficult because of my schedule, but I hope with the addition of this job My schedule will be much less constrained and a lot more organized. And I think that this job will help me achieve better levels of physical fitness and better physical care. Right? Boom. Tell them the solution to your weakness is getting the job at their airline, right? Boom. Simple. They can help you overcome all these physical problems you have. You're not in shape. Life balance. Everybody feels like they have a life balance problem. And don't say, I work too much. Now, you can add that in, but you want to say, one of my greatest weaknesses struggling with life balance. I have children. I have 2 jobs that I work right now. I've got a side hustle. Of course, I'm married, and I have parents that live near me and in-laws that live with me. And I find that my schedule is so full all the time because I'm trying to check all the boxes. And I find that sometimes I drop the ball. Sometimes I'm not spending enough quality time with my children. Sometimes I need to retreat and get a lot of rest in my bedroom, and my wife doesn't like when I sleep up until noon one day because I've been on a 4-day trip. My parents feel I don't come by for dinner enough. So life balance is a significant challenge. It's a weakness because I really haven't taken the time or had the luxury of the time to really organize how to balance this because I've been working so hard on my career and I've been working to get this job. And I feel that once I obtain this job and get a single job and I can eliminate my side hustle, more regular schedule, I can improve that life balance, even take care of myself more, which is another part of the life balance that I seem to neglect even my own health for other people or my job or my parents and my children. So life balance, I think, is a serious weakness, and because I think but I think it has a lot of potential for improvement over time. Right? Okay, life balance. Okay. Let's see. Procrastination, also a very good one because everyone procrastinates. Some people are very good at procrastinating only about things that aren't important, like the care of their home or the care of their car. Well, I keep procrastinating cleaning out my car and getting it oil serviced, and that's a good way to demonstrate procrastination. It doesn't say procrastination, I just don't like to study for check rides, right? So procrastination is a very good one because it's a general thing that people do. So use procrastination. Also, you don't like conflict. Most people do not like conflict. Road rage, people getting angry at the Kmart store. Boom, doesn't that date me, Kmart? Nobody likes conflict. So we go through life actually avoiding conflict. Now, the airlines have a very high desire to get pilots with the core competency of conflict resolution. So how do you resolve conflicts if you do not confront them and you're afraid of them? So you have to be very careful about saying, I don't like conflict, without the caveat of, so I've developed a high degree of conflict resolution techniques, for example, and then you list those examples. So, because it's very easy to understand that people don't like conflict, but you need to acquire skills of conflict resolution, and that's important. A lot of people don't like to fall out of the sky and crash into the ground and die. And you do that by learning how to fly properly, right? So every weakness is mitigated by working on that, setting a plan and a process in a way to develop a counter to that weakness. Now, I will tell you, when you are listing your weakness, this question is listened to very carefully because it requires self-introspection and an ability to cure your weakness. So it's important that when you state your weakness, you tell them, well, I have a plan in place. This is how I'm dealing with it. And this is where I expect to be in the future. Yeah? So, all right. That kind of brings that to a wrap. I think you know where we're going to on this one, but it has to be very personal. You really have to identify a genuine weakness and start working on the cure of it today, way before you have to go into an interview, so that you already have this ingrained cure and you're working on it. If you don't like public speaking, join a club where you give speeches. If you don't like conflict resolution, buy a book or personal conflict, buy a book in conflict resolution. If you don't like life balance, tell them you started an online course on life balance. Have the solution already being in process, because it's important that you identify weaknesses and you combat those throughout your entire airline career. And that's why you're right now with me, AirJobBoss, and listening to this video. If you have an interview coming up with a major airline, you need one-on-one preparation, and I do that at airjobboss.com. Click the link below or write me with any questions about my service at info@airjobboss.com. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.